Hi you guys, so this week's mindfulness topic is on sleep. And we went over the last video how you can physically slow down and connect to the rhythm and cadence of nature as your body winds down in the evening. And this video and the next one are about how to let go of this crazy busy Maya mind, all the chatter and the clutter and the stress and the to-do lists that you bring into your bedroom and bed at night that creep into your sleep and keep you from getting a good night's sleep. And what I want to talk to you about in this video is transitions. We see everywhere in nature how beautifully transitions help. Winter flow into spring, spring into summer, and evening into morning. And oftentimes we don't recognize that there are transitions that we go through just like nature every single day of our life that repeat themselves over and over. And if we can just sit back and recognize that, make a few quick habit pattern changes around transitions, we go with the flow. We go with the flow of that transition so much easier, and we get a better night's rest. And the transition I'm going to talk to you about, the big one is that often keeps us from falling asleep is, I keep telling you in these videos over and over, we go to bed at night and we lay down, our head hits the pillow and we expect to go right to sleep. But as soon as we close our eyes, we've got all this mental chatter still happening. And so one of the biggest transitions is that time when you get off work to coming home at night and being able to leave your work week behind, leave the annoying staff meeting, leave that deadline or that client that may take up a lot of your time or excess energy, and to be able to, when you walk in that door and you come in your living room, to just be like, I'm in my sanctuary, I'm in my home, I'm in my space. And so about the time that you start to shut your office light off and walk out the door, or walk into the elevator, or walk into the parking garage, or sit in your car, or get onto the bus to start to drive home, I want you to just take a minute and just close the eyes and just take a deep breath. Reset the cadence of your breath, and just as you close your eyes, allow yourself, just say to yourself silently, let it go. I'm on my way home to my sanctuary, my place of peace, whether it's my wonderful reading nook I have to look forward to, my beautiful happy dog or cat or animal that's always happy to see me, or I'm gonna go give my kids a great big hug and a kiss, or I'm gonna sit down to dinner and enjoy a delicious, tantalating conversation with my partner, my lover, my spouse, whoever it is. Think about in that moment that transition to leaving your work week behind, and whatever it is that brings you joy as you walk in that front door. Maybe it's like, I get to take off those high heels and I get to get out of those clothes. You got to do something to transition from work to your home, your space, your sanctuary. And you can even do it if you forget at the office. As soon as you pull your car up in the driveway, or you're about to walk into your front door of your home, just take that minute. And again, just close the eyes. I'm gonna leave all that behind and just let it roll right off your shoulders. Oftentimes we come home and we're steaming and fuming from the day of oh, this person cut me off, or this happened and that person was a jerk, or oh my gosh, that staff meeting went so long, it was so boring, this corporation, they do the dumbest stuff, they have the stupidest policies, or I work in a, whatever it is, we come home at night and we repeat that story. We play that story over and over and over and over in our head. And we're not laying it down and letting it go. So if there's any way that you can see that you can do that, and the first step is to see when you do that, oh, I'm reliving that story. And one thing that I found that really helps pull me out of that, because that's your ego, like reliving that story and playing with it. And the fastest way I've found to get rid of that and just lay down the story is to just connect to a moment of gratitude. And it doesn't have to be anything big. I love Brene Brown. She talks about this, how we sidestep joy all the time because we expect, if we're going to be grateful or feel or experience gratitude, it has to be about this big grandiose thing, like something great big has to happen that we're grateful for. You know what, you guys? Be grateful you have running water and electricity on the wall. Or be grateful you have a bed to lay in at night that is warm and a roof over your head. These are things to be grateful for. because so many people on the globe don't have that. So it could be a tiny thing that you're grateful for, anything that you can find to be grateful for, because remember, I'm always telling you this: gratitude and ego, fear, hate, stress, all those things, they cannot occupy the same space. So if you can come into gratitude, that just goes away right there. And then another thing we could do is, instead of getting stuck and trapped in that negativity bias habit pattern of the mind, that's what we've evolved to do, to be kind of hyper vigilant and see negative, even though really good stuff happens. More good or more positive happens in your day than negative, hands down, every single day. We're just not trained to see it. Our brain's not evolved to see it. So one thing you can do is, if you have a hard time leaving the office behind or leaving the work day behind, then flip that switch, talk about it in a positive way. Think about all the positive things that happened to you today, like, you know, you caught the bus early, or you nailed it on that presentation, or you talked to Fred or Sally or Joe or somebody at work and you had this great conversation, or you got to try out a new restaurant at lunch, or you got to see something, start to see the positives in your day, because they will outweigh the negatives. I'm telling you guys, hands down, they'll outweigh the negatives. We just don't see it because we're not mindful. And what is this topic about? We're getting mindful. We're going to go, oh, I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to transition, leave my work behind, or my work day behind. I'm going to find something to be grateful. I'm going to walk in my house and just kind of let that go. So when I walk in to greet my children, my lover, my spouse, my dog, whatever I greet, my reading nook, if that's what you greet when you walk in your door, you're like, I am all here and I'm here for you, and it feels great to be home. So I hope you have an amazing transition today as you wind down and leave the work day behind. Namaste.